Rumors suggest that T.I. has made some surprising statements about his son King Harris. As ongoing family tensions continue to spark widespread curiosity, many believe a serious conflict exists between the two, involving public statements that may have even reached a legal level. The internet is buzzing with speculation, and today we break down everything being said. Back in September 2022, King Harris, son of T.I. and Tamika Tiny Harris, was arrested in Atlanta at just 18 years old. The reason? Simply not wearing a seatbelt. A viral video surfaced showing an officer informing King that he was facing 4 separate charges. Once released, King took a lighthearted approach and laughed it off, saying, "The king is back. I'm free." However, that casual reaction did not go over well with the public or his father. T.I. soon jumped on Instagram Live and made it clear he was deeply concerned about his son's future. He openly stated that he had already warned King, his mother, and even his grandmothers that if he continued down this path, serious consequences would follow. It was a rare moment where T.I. spoke honestly rather than defensively about his son, showing that beneath the tension lies a father genuinely worried about the direction his child is heading. If he keeps going down this road, he's headed to prison, T.I. said. He went on, "There's no way around it. There's nothing I'll be able to do. Nobody can stop it but him. I've already had that conversation and made my peace." Then he said what hit people the hardest. He knows that energy because he carried it himself once, and he believes he knows exactly how it ends if nothing changes. In that moment, T.I. drew a clear line between his history and his son's choices. He recognized the way King moves and talks, the defiant posture that comes with thinking nothing can touch you. The rapper spent time behind bars in the 2000s on drug and weapons charges in a federal facility, so he understands what waits at the end of the path King seems to be walking. But he wasn't finished. T.I. stressed that King is a good kid chasing the wrong things. He said he's putting his faith in God to handle the situation how he sees fit. Then he laid out the reality as a father. King has had all the discipline a child can reasonably get. He's been punished, corrected, talked to, and warned. At this point, T.I. said his son will have to go through it and learn on his own. That was a father on a public platform telling millions that he feels he has tried everything, that his toolbox is empty, and that life itself might be the only teacher left. The internet went wild. Some people praised T.I. for being honest, saying he was being real about it. Others argued that a father should never sound like he's giving up on his child. But T.I. wasn't speaking in theory. He was speaking from experience, from watching King Harris follow a road that looked familiar. T.I. has faced legal issues in the past, including arrest for drug and weapons charges, and serving time in prison. So it's understandable that he's making a concerted effort to guide his son towards making better choices than he did at that age. On that same live stream, he reminded everyone that none of his advice comes without consequences, saying, "This isn't free. The privilege comes at a cost. I can't believe this, man. Why don't you all make some love music? Y'all got girls out here. Why don't you talk about being in love, man?" T.I. was practically pleading with his son to change direction, but King wasn't listening. To understand why T.I. reached his breaking point, you have to go back to late November 2023, when the Harris family tension spilled into the public in a big way. T.I. and King Harris got into a heated argument about the teenager's so-called silver spoon upbringing, a clash that grew more intense as it went on. The setting was the Atlanta Falcons game against the New Orleans Saints on November 26, 2023. T.I. had just performed at the game in honor of hip-hop's 50th anniversary. It should have been a celebration, a proud family moment, but it turned into something very different. In a clip that surfaced on social media, T.I. questions King's claims about growing up in rough conditions. "King, have you ever woken up with a roach on your face?" The Bankhead rapper can be heard asking. "All right then, you don't know what you're talking about." King didn't back down at all. He offered to show T.I., his mother Tiny, and others in the room a spot in his neighborhood as proof of his connection to the streets. "Do y'all want to go to Bando in my neighborhood?" he asked before accusing T.I. of not telling the truth about how things really were. King argued that his father was just saying things to make himself look better. "Silver spoon? I never had that a day in my life," he insisted. Tiny then jumped in, telling King that he did grow up with a silver spoon. But King pushed back, saying he spent a lot of time at his grandmother's house. "I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood," he said. At one point, Tiny grabbed the phone and dropped what many viewers saw as a bombshell on the live stream. She claimed the reason he always wanted to be at his grandmother's house was because he was allowed to use a pacifier there until he was 12. Something he couldn't do at home, and that he would cry when he didn't get his way. Hearing that in front of a live audience clearly upset King. "What's wrong with y'all? Why are you all doing that to me? You all know me. You know I stand by what I say. Why would you let someone play with me like that?" he asked. The mood in the suite shifted from tense to chaotic. Tiny could be seen stepping between King and T.I. as the argument escalated, and they got in each other's faces. T.I. held his son back and spoke to him sharply, telling him he was embarrassing himself and his family, insisting that there was nothing King could do to challenge him, while others tried to calm things down before the clip ended. But the story didn't stop there. Later that day, King went on Instagram and continued to speak out, saying he stands on what he believes and doesn't care who it is. No one can disrespect him to his face, because he's a grown man now. Then came the post that made everyone pause. He hinted that he'd been told he was a mistake, and accused his father of faking an image of being close to him for the internet. Those posts were later deleted, but the impact was heavy. A teenage son calling himself a mistake and claiming his father doesn't really care, all played out online for everyone to see. The clip spread everywhere online. His parents said he grew up with a silver spoon, but King denied it, and the world saw a family clearly having issues in front of everyone. The blow-up at the Falcons game didn't come out of nowhere. King Harris had already built a name for himself before November 2023, and not in the way his father hoped. Most people first saw King as a little kid on T.I. and Tiny's reality show, Family Hustle. He was cute, funny, and living in big houses, riding in nice cars. But as he got older, that sweet image started to change. In 2022, King went viral over an incident at a Waffle House in Atlanta. Video showed T.I. and Tiny's son getting into a loud argument with several workers after the 17-year-old found pickles in his food that he didn't want. He streamed the whole thing on Instagram Live. Pickles. The whole drama was over pickles. One worker told King to come closer toward the cooking area if he really had a problem. King didn't back down and even climbed up on the counter, like he was ready to keep it going. "Come here, I'll show you what I can do," he shouted over and over. Outside, he kept taunting the worker and making more aggressive threats. Social media went on him. People were shocked and started tagging his famous father. "T.I., come get your son. This is not the way," one YouTube user wrote. "I know his parents raised him better than that. Use your manners." T.I. later reacted, asking why his son felt the need to argue with a fast food worker at all. He said he and King's uncle spoke to him about the situation, admitting they were confused about his need to go back and forth with the short-order cook. King then faced strong online criticism from people who felt he was trying to glorify a street lifestyle he never actually lived. That became the main narrative. A kid raised in gated communities, with access to opportunities most young men in Atlanta never see, acting tough on social media. In 2020, King was filmed in a school bathroom fight. By 2022, he was being arrested. By 2023, he was clashing with his own father at an NFL game. The pattern was heading in the wrong direction. His mother, Tiny, tried to defend him. She said King had always been her sweetheart, but also a handful, never really from the hood. But unlike his siblings, always getting into trouble, constantly fighting and slapboxing at school like it was a sport. She added that every parent with multiple kids knows there's always that one child who tests the limits. Tiny doubled down at a Charlie Wilson concert in late December 2023, defending King again on Instagram Live. She said King stands on business, that he's a good person at heart, and that while he doesn't run from conflict, he doesn't go looking for it either. It was a mom doing what moms do, standing up for a child while the public watched a young man who seemed to be losing control, with more and more clips surfacing online. Then, in October 2024, Harris was arrested in Dunwoody, Georgia, after police pulled him over in a BMW. Officers reported that he nearly hit a patrol car while pulling out of a gas station. Officers said they smelled marijuana and saw Harris with a firearm on his hip. When they ran his information, they found something else, a warrant for King's arrest in Pickens County for failing to appear in court. He had been charged back in August 2022 with speeding, driving on a suspended license, and driving under the influence of drugs. In September 2024, an arraignment notice was returned and a bench warrant was issued. The officer checked King's record, confirmed the warrant, and walked him to the patrol car. He said he did a pat-down before putting King in the back seat. King was arrested and taken to DeKalb County Jail. 2 other people were in the car, and officers allegedly found 2 small bags of marijuana during the vehicle search. It seemed like everything T.I. had warned about in 2022 was coming true, one headline at a time. By early 2026, things shifted. T.I. was in the middle of a creative comeback, working on what he called his retirement album, Kill the King. Let Him Know, a track from that project, became one of the first big hits of 2026, reaching #1 on Urban Radio and topping several charts. But at the same time, his long-running feud with 50 Cent flared up again in a very public way. And King Harris was right in the middle of it. T.I. and 50 Cent reignited their issues after T.I. said he had lost all respect for 50. When 50 Cent backed out of a proposed Rizzo-style battle that would have showcased both of their catalogs, T.I. said he lost respect for him. Not long after those comments spread, 50 posted an unflattering photo of Tiny on Instagram, seemingly mocking her. That was the breaking point. Once 50 went after Tiny, the Harris family moved as a unit. T.I. and his sons, Domani and King, dropped several diss tracks aimed at 50. King didn't hold back. On Sunday, February 22nd, the young rapper went on his Instagram stories with a heated rant after the 50-year-old mogul shared the photo of Tiny. Then King crossed a line even his father couldn't support, aiming harsh insults at 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who passed away in 1983 when 50 was just 8 years old. King even shared an image of a tombstone with a caption aimed at 50 and appeared wearing a t-shirt featuring a picture of 50's mother. King also released a diss track called Made Man, going at 50 for disrespecting Tiny. T.I. himself joined in with his own track, The Right One, but when T.I. was later asked if he enjoyed seeing his son step into the feud to defend the family, he answered quickly and clearly, no. He said he spent years trying to pull his son back from risky behavior, and now King had what felt like a reason to ignore those lessons. When it came to the t-shirt featuring 50's late mother, T.I. said that's where he drew the line. I said, that's enough. When I saw that shirt, he explained, adding that he believes in treating others the way he wants to be treated and not crossing certain boundaries. Still, he admitted he felt a complicated kind of pride seeing his son stand up for their mother, even as he disagreed with how far it went. I raised my children to be men of respect, logical, reasonable, and not ruled by emotion. I take pride in the fact that the women and children in our family are aware that there's a group of men prepared to defend them at all times. We're not out here to attack. We're here to defend and protect what's ours, and I stand on that fully. The 50 Cent situation showed what a difficult spot T.I. is in as King's father. He must allow his son to stand up for his mother, but he must also oppose King's reckless comments, disrespect toward the dead, and burn it all down attitude. T.I. was watching his worst fears unfold in real time. His son using a real grievance as a reason to act in the very ways T.I. has tried to guide him away from. Then the story took a turn no one expected. After years of public arguments, arrests, viral clips, and online embarrassment, something started to shift between T.I. and King Harris. It had been a rough stretch for them. As recently as 2023, they clashed at a Falcons game, and King even live-streamed it. However, it seems that they are finally beginning to understand each other. In a radio interview, King opened up about their relationship in a new way, saying things improved because his dad is taking more accountability. We know who we are and what we have, and we're 100% working together, he said. Over the past year, father and son have been able to mend their bond, with King saying a lot of their tension came from being so much alike. T.I., for his part, began to speak about King with clear affection. On The Breakfast Club in December 2025, he praised his son, saying he's extremely talented, has a big heart, and cares deeply. Speaking on King's past behavior, he added,